How would you feel about if you have a husband who also has that same goal, but like right now maybe they're living at home to save money for that house? Get that house,
Yeah.
girl.
Well, yeah, that's great.
If he came up to me and like met me like on the street or something and like that, I would probably never talk to him again.
Is this what you expected it to look like?
Yeah, it's just, simple. It's simple.
So you don't consider this a studio or an apartment? Like, as if someone else lived upstairs, like if it wasn't my parents?
Then they would come down here and do the laundry?
The ingredients are there in order for, more intimacy to happen.
But he's in bed by 9 o'clock, so...
It's not sexy.
The time is here for you to decide. Do you want to stay married or do you want to give a divorce?
This is Married at First Sight.
All right, people, we are back. Welcome back to our Married at First Sight Season 18 recaps. This is episode 7, entitled Basement Blues. And it wasn't a doozy, it was Basement Blues. It is, man. So we're back in Chi-Town. The honeymoon is over, and real life and real situations are. I couldn't wait for us to get to this point. It felt like we got to this point a little later than usual. It felt like the experts, coming in a little later than usual. I'm so happy because they are definitely needed right now. I do want to say that this episode started out with Michelle being a little bit more open, a little bit more lighthearted, and inviting David to try some things, just so they could start building, I guess. Mm-hmm. So, my first question before we dive into the couples individually, this is also the episode where the couples go to each other's places to see, how they're living or whatever. But my first question was with Michelle. You said last recap that she acknowledged that she was at fault. So what is the difference between her recognizing that she was at fault and now she's trying? This is one of our favorite terms now, trying.
Yeah, trying. I think it's a good step in the right direction. Let's just say that. We have yet to, see how it will all unfold, but she did acknowledge last episode that, hey, I am a problem. Like, I am just pulling out all of the negative energy in this space. And I know this. Her next step is what we all as humans should do, right? We can say, she's really checked out and this is bullshit what she's doing. It doesn't matter. She is at least giving an effort. She is at least trying, and she is at least trying and moving in the right direction. So therefore, this can only be possibly a good thing.
That's fair. All right. As we see the experts pull up with Dr. Pepper and Pastor Kyle and the new doctor who's a sex therapist. Is this something that you would, in the beginning of a relationship, take part in? Like, would you talk to a therapist in the beginning? Not if you have something already established, but in the beginning.
In the beginning. Yeah, I really think that might be a cool thing. Sometimes people need a buffer. Or just, a non-biased opinion about where each of you stand and possibly how to get on the same page. So yeah, I would definitely be open to it. How about you?
I don't know if I would be that open to it in the beginning stage, only because I feel like if we already can't find middle grounds in the beginning, some people, like, that's what I'm saying. I think it depends on the specific people, because some people, like fucking Michelle, she needs the shit. Like, it ain't the other people, it's her. Right. So I feel like some people, they need that shit, but I feel like the way that I am, if I'm noticing red flags at the beginning, I'm noticing them for a reason. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I would necessarily think that I needed a buffer or somebody to talk us through it. I think
Mhm.
that the things that or the red flags that I would focus on would be deal breakers for me. So if I feel like I'm focusing on a red flag that's a deal breaker,
Mhm.
that's not going to change just because we talk to somebody.
Right, right. I think I will only do it too, and I'm going to say this. I think I will only do it too if it was at the suggestion of somebody else. I could remember one time like talking to this guy, and he was just like, "Yo, you going too deep too soon." I'm like, these are simple general questions. Like,
Facts.
nigga, where was you raised? How was you raised? By who were you raised?
Facts.
What? That's too deep for you? Like, so I probably wouldn't initiate that, but I definitely would if somebody else.
Facts. I mean, I guess there would be no harm,
Mm,
if it was
mm,
a suggestion and you tried it.
yeah.
But the older I get, the faster I am at catching. No, this is not for me.
Right, right.
So I would do it just out of sport, but I don't think that's going to change anything. But if
That's
it does,
definitely
that's a
true.
plus. If it
Right,
does, and we find a different path, then that's a plus. So
right.
I'll be open to it. All right. Where do you want to start at this evening?
Mhm. I do this every week, and every week it gets more drastic.
Which tree do you want to shake right now?
Which tree?
Which tree do you want to shake right
Um, let's let's tap into Thomas and Camille first.
now? Thomas and Camille.
Yeah.
All right. As we left off at the end of last recap or episode, we were talking about Thomas's blackness and is he cool enough? They saw it in front of the doctor. She said he might not have enough. First, why was his facial expressions like that? That's all I want to know. Why, like, when somebody's questioned, can you at least try to look cool when somebody's questioning you're cool?
Yeah, no,
It was
no.
like
I
the
just don't think it's
camera.
in them.
It was like the camera hit him at a perfect angle when she's questioning it's cool to show that he ain't cool.
Ain't cool. And that's what I'm saying. I just think he just does not embody that. He just does not embody that.
All right, so what is your questions where you want to begin that with them?
So yeah, I think it was like interesting to see how Camille just came right off the back about, just his swag and just stating that, hey, listen, it's something that I can't put into a form or I can't explain, but he just don't got it. Um, and I think, like to me, it was like, okay, Camille, we got it. He's
Right.
not swaggy enough for you. Okay, we got it, but pull out some more of the other things. Yes, she did speak on what they have together, but pull out some additional things about Thomas that you may like. Some qualities. Sure, you guys have the same core values. Sure, you guys, communicate half decent. Sure, but what are some things about him other than he's not swaggy enough? It is good for you. I didn't. Did you see that? Did I miss it?
I don't know if there is anything there that's good for her. Outside of they're like have a friendship. They have like a friendship where like they could be around each other, but it's not like being around each other in a romantic setting. It's like we could be cool, like we cool, like we could get along,
Right.
we could talk, we could do activities, but it's not like a spark.
Yes, I'm definitely not seeing a spark. I'm definitely seeing like Thomas trying, but I feel like, and when I say by trying, I just mean he'll say, well, what would you like to see me wear? Or what do you think about this? Or X, Y, and Z, or be more forthcoming with me about the things that you don't like. Like, I think he's definitely giving it a try and shit, but she just not. She just is harping so much on the things that she just ain't clicking with too much, in my opinion. I don't know, just about him specifically. That's I don't know.
Because it's aura and it's energy. So that's
Hmm.
why that's why I always ask you and other women as well. Like, is there other things that are going to attract you? because for me, like when I see you and I'm around you, it's either there or it ain't. It's not going to change.
Right.
So that's what I
Right.
think that she's experiencing right now. That she's been
Mhm.
around him enough, you know, that she doesn't feel that edge in him. She doesn't feel that energy, and she doesn't feel that aura of like attraction.
Right. And I mean, I thought it was like, okay, cool. Especially I know that we're going to get into visiting the apartments and stuff. And she gives him little kudos here and there, but she definitely is not like sold on,
Right.
oh my God, Thomas is this. Oh my God, Thomas is this. I really like this. I really like that. Oh my God. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, we're doing okay. We have a lot of the same core values. It is what it is. That's what I feel like from her.
All right, so they went to, or she went to his apartment. It was like something regular. I did get the whole candle thing when she was like, she picked up the candle and was like, this, that was obviously a decorative candle.
Yeah, facts.
Right?
That's
Like,
I'm
do
like,
people understand the difference?
she should.
That's what I'm saying. She's a woman.
She's a woman. She should. She a woman with some so-called flavor. She should know. She should know. This is decorative candles.
Right.
Like weirdo.
So, yeah, people, if you see like a set that's like out and it doesn't look like it's used, that's because it's decorative. It's not supposed to be used.
And
Like
this
the fuck.
and the scent will dissipate
Right. And
after a
she
while.
was looking through his closet and he had like more suits than like regular clothes and shit. So it's like obviously you could tell he's a person that just goes to work every day in his suits. And he's not like, well, he did have a couple boxes of J's up there. I'll give him that. He did have a couple boxes of J's up there.
Right.
So he had a little bit.
Yeah. He
but
went up from a 5 to a 4.
right, but clothing wise, I don't
Right.
know. I don't like. That's why I asked about the whole attraction thing. Like,
Hmm.
so what would it be in a person that would draw your attraction?
Um, for me, honestly, it's conversation.
Okay.
Like most of the time, physical attributes or just some of those things that notice at first sight, like people will be like, oh, his smile was amazing, or whatever the case may be. I think for me the conversation is definitely the vibe. Like that's what creates for me the initial attraction, and then I think everything else will kind of fall into line for me.
Okay. Okay. Did they ever? Because I can't remember right now. Did they ever show her place?
Not yet. I think that's going to be on the next episode,
Okay.
but they did not show her place yet.
All right. So I think just the last thing with them was to sit down with the experts.
Yeah.
What was the expert's advice when she was talking about his swag or whatever? Were they just telling her to look for other things?
Yeah, they were pretty much telling her to look for other things and like really trying to pull out of her exactly what the fuck she meant. Cause sis, okay, you're speaking like a kid. Like
Right.
this is like kitty shit we talking about. You're talking about and harping on the fact that you think that this man lacks some.
But let's stay right there. Let's stay right there.
Mhm.
Um, is it that she's speaking like a kid, or is it hard to explain the it factor?
Okay, yes, I take back speaking like a kid. You're behaving like a child.
Mhm.
When I say that your issues seem to just stem around this swag factor. And I understand it's hard to put into words. And I understand that us as women may need that. Like, I get it, right? But you're in this forum, in this setting where you're just meeting someone, that should not be the basis of what you're having an issue with so much.
So you feel like she's harping on that.
I feel like she's harping on it and not necessarily in a negative way. Sure, she's bringing it across lightly, and they spoke on that how speak on what you like or whatever the case may be. But I'm sure there are some things Thomas can say about her that's fucking whack.
Right. Like her
And
fat.
he hasn't, yeah, and he hasn't said it not once. He ain't say, yeah, I might not be hood enough, but I like a bitch with a fat ass.
Right.
He ain't said that. He ain't said that. He ain't said that not once. So, and that's not to say that's what he feels or how he thinks, but I'm just saying that as just using that as an example. Like he has not once said anything negatively about her. I haven't seen it. Have you?
Yeah, I didn't see him say anything negative
Okay.
about her.
Right.
Like I said though, like I've been saying for the last couple of episodes, I'm always going to see if he's going to meet the mark that she wants him to meet. Because when they always say, or even when the experts hook you up, like maybe that doesn't work for you, you might want something different.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're attracted to what you're attracted to.
Yeah, that is true. And they also spoke on, first of all, I feel like she pushes the mark just a tad bit because now his corny jokes.
Right.
So she did speak on his corny jokes and how he was talking about flossing and blood.
Yeah, that was
You know,
extra and unnecessary.
that was extra unnecessary. And she was like, just anything besides talking about flossing and blood spewing everywhere. And I just felt like, here she goes. She just adding something to try to strengthen her argument. And, so basically, the doctors were basically saying, allow change. Just allow the change. And Dr. Pepper was just like, well, if he wants you to wear 5-inch heels, then do that because that's something that he might find sexy or whatever the case may be, because he's not saying anything that he needs or wants or desires from her. It's just going with her flow, and her flow is telling him how bad he is.
Right. All right. So my last question with Camille and Thomas will be this for you.
Mm.
Let me see how I can word this. Are you a person who will like change?
Mhm.
Are you a person that's going to be like, if I see you this way, then I'm going to change or I'm not going to change?
Mm. Most of the time for me, when I see shit, it's not me changing, it's me morphing into my comfortability.
Right.
So 9 times out of 10, you doing some shit that I would really love to be doing. Like I'm like one of those people that I kind of like suppress me truly, especially when I first meet somebody. Um, like I really suppress from how I talk sometimes, from how I move, how I motion, how I fuck. I am one of those, and then the more comfortable I am, the more I morph into the person that I truly am. And
Okay.
if I see you chilling, comfortable, talking, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like you're not gonna judge me because this what you about.
All right.
Like, you know what I mean? That's what you about. So I don't necessarily feel like I change to adapt to somebody's liking
Mm,
or what they need. I feel like I just change to adapt to who I truly am.
okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's the last thing on Camille and
All
Thomas.
right, but wait, before we get off of them real quick, what did you feel about when Thomas said in regards to his cornball jokes and stuff, the fact that he tends to overcompensate for when he's in a nervous position? Have you ever felt like sometimes like you did something that kind of overcompensated for where you were in either a conversation or in a specific space, and you just felt like, oh, I need to do a little bit more of this to take away from a little bit of that?
No, I don't. I don't believe in that. That's why I said niggas gotta know like when and where to shut up. Like sometimes you just gotta know when and where to shut up. Like sometimes if you say something awkward and there's an awkward space, it's not room for you to say something else that's awkward.
Right.
Just shut the fuck up.
Just shut the fuck up. Because I feel like that's what's happening with Thomas. I feel like he's so awkward and he's
Right.
feeling so off of his square that he just doesn't know what to say, when to say it, how to say it. And I feel like that could be detrimental because he could still he could like continue to sink further and further
Right,
instead of getting himself out of that.
well, that's what I was trying to ask you. I guess what the question I was trying to ask you was like how I was talking about earlier with Michelle, the annoyance, John. Are you a person that once somebody does something that annoys you, then other shit you start noticing other shit that annoys you, or do you focus on that one thing and try to address that?
Yeah, I'm focusing on that one thing.
Okay.
Like it's not a domino effect with me because I just feel like that's so unfair.
I think it is unfair, but I think subconsciously, just thinking about it right now, that I might do that too.
Yeah, and I
That
can
be
see
doing
how
shit
it's
that annoys me.
easy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I can see how that is easy. Although I don't like to stay. For me, I hate situations that are like tension situations or uncomfortable situations. And I feel like if it's something that you did that annoyed me, okay, I'm gonna focus there and then I'm gonna try to either address it and move past it or just move past it and be like, all right, each whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I try not to stay um focused on that one so much. So therefore I'm not waiting for the next one. And not that people wait for the next one to happen, but when it happens, you just like, and
Another.
that's another motherfucking thing you do
Okay.
that drives me fucking nuts. Like, you know what I mean? I try not to do that. I can't say that I've never done it. But as we transition out of Camille and Thomas, the cultural differences, like, this is her main fucking thing. Do you feel like people can work through the cultural differences, or do you think that sometimes the cultural differences are just so far gone that that is not something that can be worked through or recovered from?
No, I think you definitely can work through cultural differences because most of the time they don't always like intertwine. Like they don't always like interfere with your regular everyday life.
Right.
So it depends on what the cultural differences is. But if it's like just some regular shit, it normally wouldn't bother you. It's like I'll use it like this. Like when I was having conversations with a white girl, it didn't bother me that she was white and we had cultural differences. It bothered me that she wouldn't let the shit go. Like that's all she thought about and spoke about. Like if you just be regular and be cool with me and we just talking
It's
regular, we could just be regular. But
it's not gonna. Right.
you making everything about that and you
Right.
speaking about that all the time is what's making it an issue. It's not an issue for me.
Right. Right.
Like you making it an issue. So as long as the
Right.
person is not making it an issue, then yeah, I feel like you can work through cultural
Work
differences.
through it. Okay. Because I mean, and not that Camille is giving off any vibe that this is just something that's just unbearable that she can't work through. But I'm just wondering how long this bringing up how he was raised, bringing up that he went to a majority white high school, bringing up the fact that she was a little more evenly yoked in her upbringing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just wondering how round and round this circle is going to go
But
before
that
she shut the fuck up about it.
but that's why I asked about the domino effect is because I don't think she could shut up about it is because there's nothing else to cover it.
Right.
Like there's nothing else to distract.
Right. Oh, Camille. Oh, Camille.
It's,
So
it's
T, do you go
go
ahead?
ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's
No,
nothing.
no, no. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
It's nothing else to distract for me to get off of that. So
Right.
now the dog piling is now it's just we're dog piling on top of that. So it's like that's just going to keep spinning, and then we're going to keep adding more shit on to that because you're not showing me anything different to distract me from that. Now, if you
Right.
do something different, like say he was a funny nigga and he made her laugh all the time, if he funny and he make her laugh all the time, she's not gonna care about him not being cool or his swag or him not being black enough. She's gonna be like, I love his sense of humor. She's gonna have something else to attach to.
Right. That's true. That's true. So with that, um, I guess just more so piggybacking off of just like the whole situation in general. Like, do you actually in like even situationships, friendships, or whatever the case may be, do you openly state like every single thing that is problematic to you that you don't like or like
about the girl?
Yeah, let's just say. I mean, and we speaking like of the domino effect, but even outside of the domino effect.
No, the way that they're operating this season, like those things that annoy me, I'm probably not going to even voice to you until I'm voicing my way out. Like, I'm being serious.
I'm voicing your way out.
Like, we not just gonna be chilling and I'm like, yo, I hate that you eat ice every day.
Right.
like if you're a person that eats ice and you just like, no, I like to eat ice. I ain't gonna say shit about it. Like, I'm not gonna be harking about it every day. Like, damn, why you gotta eat ice every day? Like, I'm gonna let you eat your ice until I get to my point that I'm like, I'm tired of you fucking eating ice and I'm out this joint.
Right. So is it like something that just fucking grinds your gears so bad that a person does, you will keep it in, or you would be like, yo, you fucking smacking that gum, that shit gets on my nerves. Like, are you that person?
I'll probably say it once or twice because I don't like to keep repeating myself.
Okay.
I like to keep repeating myself. So if it's annoying me or it's bothering me, I will mention it, and then I'll leave it to you to listen to what the fuck I told you that's bothering me and annoying me, and for you to stop doing that. And then once I see that you're not taking heed to what I asked, then that's when I'm just waiting for my explosion.
Right. Gotcha. You just gonna keep on smacking that gum? I can see you now. The fuck. But yeah, I hope Thomas turns the corner. Like we've been waiting for him to turn. And I hope I'm rooting for
Thomas. You team Thomas. I said he was a weirdo from the gate.
You know, his down mouth, that mouth. But I am rooting for Thomas to turn the corner and knock her socks off.
How though? He that's his only chance. That's his only chance is to knock her socks off and distract her.
Yeah, this is dicking her down. I mean, you know, it's possible.
That's his only chance, man. All right, which couple you want to go to next? Let's see here, people. Let's see, people.
I think they all are equally. You know how we'd be like, you know what? We're gonna take the board and like they're all like equally a fucking shit show in their own little way. Like,
that's a fact.
So you asking me? You want me to go again?
No. All right. Well, I want to go to Man Bun and Michelle. We're gonna do Man Bun and Michelle early this week. We're gonna do Man Bun and Michelle early this week. We normally save this couple for last, but I think there was some breakthroughs this episode for Man Bun and Michelle. I think there was some breakthroughs. They still have the same issues, but I think it's being communicated better than it was before, since the experts came in and since Michelle started trying. I think that their issues are being communicated better, so they might have a little shot at being friends.
Yeah.
I'll say not as a couple, but as being friends. They might have a shot at being friends, not as a couple.
And being friends.
I want to say that it started off, the first thing I noticed, and y'all have to see what it is. Michelle had on some J's, and he had on some Skippies.
He had on some Skippies. She was definitely giving a cool sneaker vibe the entire show. I did notice that.
That's a fact.
For her outfits, yeah.
That's a fact. So when they were meeting with Pastor Cal and the other lady. We gotta find out what's the other lady's name.
Dr.
And
Pia. Dr. Pia.
and Dr. Pia.
Mhm.
They were asking both of them, I guess, what is the issue? Like, what is the problem? And he, she was saying how I was overwhelmed by him saying that he lives at home. And she's telling her, she's like, well, I talked to you about that. And I asked you about, would you have a problem with somebody who would live at home? And you said that's fine, long as he had plans on moving out and we would not be staying at his parents' house. And then she said, I feel like I should have been more specific. And yes, you should have been more specific.
Yo, listen, when they pulled tape, I was like,
Right.
roll them up, because I fucking Michelle grinds my gears. So I
Fact.
already knew kind of sort of what Dr. Pia was, where she was getting ready to go, because she was just lining that shit up. She was like, so, think about, blah, 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 blah. And then when she pulled the tape, I said, oh, okay.
It's a
Okay,
fact.
Michelle.
It's a fact. So they asked you about this, and now that you're in it, you trying to switch roles. That's why I be trying to tell y'all about the truth shit. The truth will come back and bite you on your ass because you said I was cool with this. Now you ain't cool with it. Now that it's a reality, you ain't cool with it. That's what I said. And also, even when she talked about being specific in the interview process or on the
Mm,
application, we must be specific, people, in the things that we want. I just had a conversation not too long ago about this, and I was just speaking just about praying in general. I was telling this person that when you pray, you're not supposed to pray like just in the grand scheme of things. You're supposed to pray specifically in detail, what it is that you're praying about, so
right,
that
right.
can be addressed. Because you praying
Hmm.
some general shit that could be for whatever.
Right.
Like if you're a person, you're saying, I'm praying for just a car. All right, we won't give you what the bull said, a hoopty. We'll get to that later. But
My
you
nigga.
you gotta be specific about the shit that you asked for, man.
Right.
So they're talking to the doctors, and they're asking like, what is a better understanding? Like, he gave you an understanding. He said, I live there, but I don't have to live there. So what is a better understanding?
There is no better understanding. I mean,
Okay.
he clearly outlined for you just that, and it's just not acceptable to you because you don't want it to be acceptable to you. You know what I mean? You just don't want it to be acceptable.
That's a fact. So
You just don't like it.
yeah, so she said that if she saw him like in a regular instance, and we were talking, and you told me that you live at home with your parents, I would never speak to you again in life.
Yo,
How'd you
she's
feel?
so fucking rude. Like, she's just so fucking rude. Like,
Is that rude or is that honesty? Or is it both?
there's is both. And there is a fine line. You can say the truth, but have some coup to it. Like, hey, listen, like if David would have presented himself with these type of scenarios for me, it just probably would not have worked, and we may not have been able to, get past a certain point. Like, she just has a harshness about her that is so condescending, and it kind of like almost in a sense puts David down. Like, David might not be all of that. Yeah, he might live like a college student, which we'll get to in a minute. And there might be childlike behaviors from a 36-year-old or whatever the case may be that you just don't agree with. But you ain't gotta be a bitch about it. Cause
Do you think she knows that? Like, do you think that she knows that she's being a bitch about it?
no, I think initially for her, she doesn't. She doesn't see it. She doesn't know it. And she acts and behaves that way. And then when she has some time to reflect or she thinks about it, she's like, oh, I'm being a pill. I'm gonna try not to be a pill today. Like, you see what I mean? So, I just feel like she just has it out for David. Like, yeah.
So I feel like like you were saying, the experts did call her out and they did check her, um, and tell her that, you said you was going to be cool with this, and now you're not giving it a chance. She started
Hmm.
crying. She started. They was like, "Damn, you done already?
Yeah,
you
she's like, I'm checked out.
yeah,
She
you
said, I'm
already
checked
checked out.
out.
You already checked out." But I want to make sure that we make this a note that they did um like dig deeper and get to some of the root of this shit. So it's
Hmm.
basically she said, I haven't been in a relationship in like 7 years or some shit. Nobody has taken care of me that long. And she said, and she's basically explaining how she's afraid, from her past experiences, that he won't meet her expectations. She's like, I expected to, meet somebody on my level, but you didn't say that. You didn't say that specifically. When they asked you, you said, I'm okay with this. That's why I said you got to be specific in the shit that you asked for, because they gave you what you said you was okay with. You said you was okay if he lived at home, long as he had a plan to move. And now you got that, and now you're not okay with that. Now you're saying, I expected somebody to be on my level. So that you have to, your expectations or the shit that you said you wanted, that's what you should have said. So yeah, her past of not being taken care of or of being afraid. That's why I said the women living in fear shit. That
Yeah,
needs to be addressed at some point.
yeah,
Um,
facts,
just
facts.
just how women live with fear or move in motion through fear.
Yeah, facts. She said a couple of um uh words that really hit home. And I'm gonna tap back into that in 1 second, but I want to circle back to what you said in regards to her statements about um that whole success thing, that whole he doesn't fit my mold thing. Like, okay, let's be clear, ma'am. Your fucking apartment was mediocre. Like, let's if we could. I know we probably gonna tap into that, but your expectations. This is how sometimes we talk about people who live in the land of Delulu.
The
Yeah,
Lulu.
Delulu, because you put him down like he's the bottom of the barrel, and bitch, you not that. Excuse my French for the bitch word, but you not that high up, sis. Like your style of living and what you claim you bust your ass for. Not that you claiming because you're doing it, and it's better than a lot, but it's you put yourself up on this high pedestal that you're just stepping down on anything that you feel is not to your level of success. And you might have been trying to get to this point too at some point when they ask the differences of what is your definition of success.
Right. Right.
Hers was nothing
Right.
but what you can attain monetarily.
Right.
You ain't got no car, you living at home, you this, and the third. Oh, well, you ain't successful. And that's not always everybody's exact meaning of success or feeling of success. And look at what David gave. So, like, I felt like her expressing that was like her expressing the 7 year shit was bullshit T. So you smothered by a nigga opening the door, or a nigga asking if you cool or if you want to drink or whatever. You smothered by that. Like, she annoys me. And so
Yeah,
I
the
just want to,
smothering part of it was a bit extreme. The smothering part of it was a bit extreme. The definitions of success is a talking point, though,
yeah, yeah.
because I want to say that you've expressed ambition in your partner.
Hmm.
So success looks different to everybody. And even though she had a vague definition of success, we can still see where their definitions of success are different. He's
Okay.
talking about family, she's talking about monetary things.
Mhm.
You've also expressed my person should have a certain level of ambition. I'm not going to date the
Yes.
bus driver.
Yeah. If
So,
that's all he want to be,
right,
absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
So, and I guess that's what she's like trying to say. Like, is that's all he want to be is living with his parents?
But she didn't give him the opportunity to.
Okay.
We and when we discussed this and we had this in our conversations, etc., I further divulged and I said, yes, I'm cool with dating a bus driver, but no, I don't want him to live in that space. Own the fucking bus company. You understand what I'm saying? Magnify that shit. Don't just use your creativity. We much more than what we can just settle to be. That's all that I claim. And sure, money and all of that is great. But the ambition for me is people who are passionate about doing what it is the fuck that they're going to be doing, more or less for themselves versus just settling working for someone else. That's what I'm passionate about. So yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of similar things in regards to she wants somebody that's successful, that's going to go out there and get it, et cetera, et cetera. Give him the opportunity to.
But that's
I'm
what
going to date the bus driver. I'm going to fuck the bus driver.
I,
But as long as he stay the bus driver and don't want to own that motherfucker, then I'm not no more. So she's
right,
not giving him a chance.
right. But that's where I think the line is. I think that
Hmm.
she doesn't think that there is a chance.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
don't
she.
I don't think that she thinks that there is a chance that he wants to move out of his parents' basement, which is kind
Mhm.
of conflicting because y'all got married. Obviously, he don't want you to live with him in his parents' basement. So how can you have that ingrained in your mind that he's never going to move out? He know y'all ain't moving in his fucking parents' basement. So I
Facts.
think the bigger issue is not that she's upset that he lives in his parents' basement. I think she ultimately wants somebody to come and take care of her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely see that. I definitely see that.
And she don't see him living in his parents'
Being able
basement
to do
being
that.
able to do that. And that's what I think the issue is. It's not
Right.
even just the fact that he lives in his parents' basement. It's the fact
Yeah.
that she's doesn't know herself what she wants. But I can see what she wants is somebody to come and take care of her. That's what she wants.
Right. Yeah, I definitely can agree with that. I definitely can agree with that. And I also think that, right now at this point in time, she's just looking for any opportunity. Look how the episode started off where David was sitting on the couch and was like, "Oh, I'm feeling like I'm waiting for the principal." And she was like, "Did you get in trouble a lot?"
Right.
What did she want him to say? Yeah, I've been incarcerated 3 to 5 years, and then I just came home not too long ago, and
Right.
that's why I moved into like, I just feel like she's just looking for, you know, things. She couldn't wait to get to his crib.
Right. All right. So since you brought
Mhm.
that up,
The crib.
the crib, let's go right there. Now, I was a little bit on David's side. Like, let's see the apartment. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, I was on the side. He explained it like, now I live in like a duplex. Like my parents live upstairs. I live in the basement. Like he had like a flat wide open floor space. Like, why are you doing all that? I'm trying to explain it how
I
he
feel bad
explained
for
it.
David.
I'm
I
trying
feel
to
bad.
explain it how he
I know.
explained it. He said, I live
No.
in a duplex. I have my own kitchen, my own bathroom, like X, Y, and Z. I don't really see them. And it's like we live in the same household, but it's different. It's separated. I got my own space. But when we got there, it didn't really give duplex. It didn't really
It just
give.
had its own door.
Yeah,
That's it.
it just had its own. It wasn't giving separate. It was giving basement. It was giving like when I was 16 and one of my friends lived in the basement. That's what it was giving. Like, and it was
Right.
given. He was like, the washer and dryer is there. She's like, is that your washer and dryer? He's like, it's the family's washer and dryer. So sometimes, imagine it. This is what I'm saying. She's in her brain. Like, imagine I'm here watching TV and they coming at her watching clothes and shit. I don't want to see that shit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she has valid points. Absolutely. I agree. He definitely made it seem like it was completely separate.
Right. He definitely over talked. That's why I say he should have never even mentioned none of this shit. But he putting his own foot in his mouth. And even like he's like, I said it. You sat at that table. You big as shit, my nigga. When did you sit at that little table and eat dinner? When? I want to see him sit at that table and eat dinner.
Oh my God, the one that's like in
Yeah,
this
with the
little
chairs and
cubby.
shit. Yeah, I want to see him sit at that little shit and eat dinner. I need to see that on the next episode. I want to
I
see him sit at
can't.
that little area and fucking eat dinner. So it's like it's so much shit going on in the basement. It's like shit all over the place. I don't even know if we got to like see the bed side of it. It was like it was there.
Yeah, he showed his room with the bed, and it was like a fucking comforter from when we was in high school.
Right.
It ain't
Right.
had no headboard. It wasn't a bed. It was just like the mattress and stuff. And the room obviously was small, nothing on the walls. It just was very college-like. Like she said, she referred to his keg and dartboard. He
But yeah,
practices
well,
dart.
why you got the cake machine though?
The keg machine, the dartboard that he said he practices like 3 hours at a time or something.
First of
Did you
all,
hear him say that?
practicing darts for 3 hours is insane.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
worried like she is now. I'm sorry. I know you hate her,
yeah,
but
I just
I'm
no
worried.
no I do. She irks my life, but she was right in this shit. Like I wouldn't have felt no different by it. Like, and I definitely, but I think at that point in time, that would have been the point in time that my antennas would have
Yeah,
went up.
not before, not before.
Not before. Once I saw that, and then my first statement would have been, all right, so when you wrapping this shit up, big,
Right, right, okay.
like, you know what I mean? To try to see like how quickly you think you will be up out of this now that you're married.
All right, I got a question. So she was asking him like, well, where do you like if you have girls over, like where do you be with the girls? And he was like,
Right here.
in my bed. Like, so is that a thing for women, like if they don't have like sufficient space, I'm gonna guess. So it's like if you just come over and your only option is like to like be on the bed, is that a thing, or is that like an age thing? Is that like we grown, we almost 40, you should have something, but or is that cool if you almost 40 and you come over and we sit on my bed or whatever? Like, is that a big deal?
I mean, for some people, it might be. For me personally, no, because I don't have to live here. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? I'm not taking it in to that much context where I'm like, okay, this, how are you living this way, or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm coming to visit. I'm in your space. I'm in your abode. So that's just whatever. I'm cool with whatever because why? I'm here for you. Like, I'm here to converse and commune or fuck you. Like, and those women didn't give a fuck because you ain't husband material to them per se. They just wanted to have sex. It didn't matter if it was on a bed with no hair.
I cannot. I
No, I'm
cannot.
just saying, like, just for some people that's a thing.
Right.
You know?
For some people that is a thing, and I'm not mad at them for that being a thing. But I also know a lot of girls who um express they talk to a lot of niggas that don't have nothing.
Right.
So you want to have nothing or nothing.
Nothing or nothing or nothing. I think the person, honestly, like I think the person is what's important
Right.
because those things can be attained.
Right.
Like, babe, you ain't got no bed and we rocking. All right, babe, well, you coming over to this bed.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? That has like I've dealt with individuals, you know what I mean, that might not have even had their own place at certain times. Like
Right.
not
But
certain individuals, but you know.
that's why I'm so confused. That's why I'm
Mhm.
so confused because it shouldn't matter that he lives with his parents if you have your own place. Now, if she never had her own place, then yes, that's going to be an issue. Because I don't have my own space and you live with your parents, that's an issue. If I got my own space and you live with your parents, you just come over to my crib.
Right, exactly. And I
But
mean, it's her mind. It's her
right,
mind. It's
but
the
that's
way
what I'm
she set
saying.
up.
that's it's not the issue of him living with his parents. The issue is she wants somebody to take care of her. She wants somebody to have more than her. She keeps on
Right.
explaining it as I want somebody to be on my level or to match me or whatever. No, bitch. You want somebody that has more than you to take care of you, to elevate you. You want somebody to elevate you. You don't want
That's it.
somebody to meet you where you are. You want
That's it.
elevation.
That's it. Because who's to say that he can't?
All right.
Okay, what you're seeing, okay, yeah, granted, we probably all established at this
Yeah.
point that he can't. Okay. But prior to seeing his place, how would you ever really know that?
Right.
Like, how would you know what he got in his bank?
Right.
How would you know that different cultures, families, we've discussed this, are very tight knit.
Right.
They live together. They live in all in one roof. Some don't even have their own space. They live in all on one level, all
Facts.
in the same bedroom. You got the big bedroom, and mom and dad got the front. Like it could have been that situation because some cultures just don't care. It's better that they live together and share funds and build with one another. But how would you even notice, Michelle?
That's a fact.
It's just not fair. It's not fair.
That's a fact. So I said, yeah, I don't think that that is the ultimate issue, and we'll see how this plays out. But I'm glad that it's starting to come out more. Like it was a little vague when they were on the honeymoon, and
Mhm.
now we're getting to see the meat and potatoes of what it is. So where do you want to go next?
Let's do Ike and
Ike Raw and Eminem. Ike Raw and Eminem. All right. Now, beginning with Ike Raw and Eminem, my first question was, he said that she was mechanical.
Whoa.
What does that mean?
So I almost felt like he meant robotic. Like, I
What is
mean, I
he?
could, huh?
What is he?
He's definitely mechanical and robotic. Absolutely. So I feel like that is a pot calling the kettle black.
Right. And why did you? This is what my cold question this whole season is: why are people just randomly blurting out crazy shit?
Because these motherfuckers don't like each other. None of
Right. I feel like
them. Damn.
everybody just randomly blurts out crazy shit for no reason that shouldn't
When
be said.
when he said that, I was like, and she was just sitting there like, okay, that's what we doing.
Right. Right. All
Ugh.
right. So I feel like he was adamant about her staying on her side of the bed. He was like, I felt you crossing the line last night. What was you trying to do? What?
Yeah, I feel like deep down Ike is an asshole. I feel like deep down, we might not have seen it fully and clearly, but there's just certain signs
There's something there.
that I've seen, yeah, that I've seen that he is just an asshole. This bed shit was like another thing that added to my list.
It's a fact. It's something there, and I'm worried about it. It's something there, and I'm worried about
Yes, because he like, well, if you sleep in the middle of the bed, you was definitely sleeping in the middle of the bed. If the middle of the bed is your side, yeah, that's you.
it. Right. All right. So before they left out, he was like saying, "Don't judge my place. I live modestly," and I felt like you live like pretty good. Like you live like regular. Like
I didn't understand that. I didn't.
I was lost.
I,
I was confused.
I was lost
Like
and I
I
was
thought we was
confused.
going to David Crib. Go ahead.
Facts, and I didn't see his reasoning for prefacing the way he lived prior to going in with maybe you know how some people will be like, yeah, I've done it. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna like my banana pudding.
They downplay shit.
Like downplay shit so that, maybe when it's tasted or when it's seen, that it's like, oh, this is nice or this tastes good. Like, maybe that's what he was attempting to do.
That was a good idea. That was stupid.
I don't know, but his place was super nice
That's what I'm saying. I was like, what are you talking
for a
about?
guy, like you know what I mean?
First of all, his place was fine.
Hmm.
He had like sill in the floor windows or some shit. His place was fine.
Yeah.
He had like a couple bedrooms or whatever. His place was fine.
Hmm.
I didn't understand it, but and I definitely didn't understand it when he got to her place. It was like this whole place, this void room is my whole place. Nigga, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it just was too much. It was just like it was just extra. And like, yeah, her place was nice, but it wasn't all super extravagant. He was like, look, oh my God, that fancy air fryer. And I'm just like, what is happening here? Was it just to make her feel good? Or was it like how he was genuinely feeling? Like
I
his
think it
place was
was
just
how he
like
was
this.
genuinely feeling. I think them I think the whole time of her family expressing to him that, she was well off or that he might been looking at her as opportunity, that he put that in his mind.
Right. Okay. Right. So maybe that was his reasoning for saying, "Oh, I have meager living,"
Right.
because he inside, like in his mind, was just playing over and over, like I might live meager and modest compared to how she lives. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So
Well, it was stupid either way.
definitely. Definitely stupid either way.
Stupid either way.
All right. Any last questions or things that we need to break down with Eminem and Ike Raw?
So I did want to ask one thing, like, what are just a few of the initial things that, you like discover about a person, or you think you discover about a person when you walk into their space?
Are they clean?
Hmm.
Um, Things that they care about, like you'll be able to tell the difference, like in how they have shit set out. Like I'm a person who like you're gonna see big TVs. I like big TVs. Like you just gonna see like the shit that I like. So that's the kind of shit that I pay attention to. Like you like with girls, like even when you was a young boy, they might have like a lot of teddy bears. Like you'll see the feminine things or whatever. Like it's like I pay attention to the detail shit.
Right.
So that's
I
definitely
just feel like sometimes people don't take in a person's character when they walk into their space.
right.
Like I feel like the space reveals so much about a person sometimes. Um, Good, bad, or indifferent. But I just feel like people walk into a space and they just like, oh, I'm here. Like they don't take a moment to further learn a person, because you can truly learn a person by studying um their space and
That's a
where
fact.
they live, and you know what I mean, that kind of thing. Like you see, like you said, the things that they like. Okay, well, she has teddy bears, or you have a ton of sneakers, like just that type of thing. You can learn so much about a person if you just take in their space a little bit, and I just don't think people do that often. So
That's
I like this little exercise that they do.
right.
I like this.
And also it's like the personality of it. So say there's nothing in there, like say it's just bland, like say they just got like IKEA couch, a TV, but there's like no pictures, there's no decorations. Like how do you view that when it's just like you walk into a space that's bland?
Um, I just feel like I don't really think too much into it. I just sometimes feel like people don't know how to just tap into their creative side. Like whether they just don't have the time for it, whether they don't have, whether they don't feel inspired by their own space. So I don't look at it as a reflection of them per se, like, oh, were they just blah in real life because they don't have nothing on their walls? I don't know. I just feel like maybe they just haven't been inspired enough, and that's where I come in. Let me
See,
inspire you.
I take that exactly as that.
That they blah.
Yeah.
That they blah.
Yeah, I take that exactly
Yeah.
as that. If you have no personality in your space, I
Right.
take that exactly as that. I'm going to view
Right.
you exactly as that. Oh, this
As that.
this space is a reflection of you because that's
Oh
what
yeah.
most people's spaces are, a reflection of.
Right.
So yeah,
Now,
I take it exactly as that.
right. Do you think that like a person can not know how to tap into that decorative personality? Because I've
Yeah.
seen people who've had real crazy, bubbly personalities, and they should be so just plain basic.
See, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I have, but not in women
Right.
and men.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's see, it's different from men. It's different from men because men don't like their brain doesn't go there all the time. So it's like
Right.
a man could be like he could be full of personality, but that don't mean he gonna like go all out and be like personally like decorate his crib. Like he gonna have some nice
Right.
shit, or like he might have like like even if you go in somebody's bathroom, like they might just have like a regular dark shower curtain and the
Right.
dark rugs and everything. But that person could be full of personality when it comes to a man, because I just want my shit nice. Like I'm
Hmm.
like they don't be thinking about the personality of decorative. That's more like a girl thing or a creative. Like
And
I'm a creative, so you're gonna see some creativity. Everybody's not creative, but that don't mean that they don't have a lot of personality. But
right.
when it comes to women, I think that theirs go together. So
Hmm.
it's like I don't think you're gonna see a lot of women who have bland spaces, but they have a bubbly personality.
Right. Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see that. All right,
Hmm.
what was your other question?
Um, no, I think, oh, it really wasn't another question, but what did you think about as a creative? And we always talk about, how the creative mind thinks just a tad different. What did you think? What did you think when he did say she was mechanical, but he says, what I mean by that is I want to see the art in you.
um you had sent a picture of like his book and everything like that. And I don't did we ever even get to know what he does for a living?
I don't think that has been discussed, but I didn't read the foreword or whatever the case is in the book, but I think it discusses exactly who he is and like what he does, um, which we might have to tap into and circle back to. But no, we don't know other than he
Because I
plays
see the
the
instruments.
bass.
I mean, he
Mhm.
wasn't that great, but he said he was great.
Oh, right.
He
He
said
was
he
a great drummer until he got into like an accident or something.
nah, but then he said I was so good at playing the bass, now they don't book me for drumming.
Right.
So he
But
said,
he's not that good in playing the bass
I'm
either.
saying,
Right. It
so
was average,
yeah, so
mid.
I don't know what he does like musically. So I guess he views himself as an artist. So
Hmm.
him viewing himself as an artist, I could see him asking her that question, but I don't think he's a good artist.
Right.
Is what I want to say.
Yeah, no,
I just
because
don't think he's a good artist.
his music has been mid.
Right,
That book looks mid.
right.
Um,
His
yeah.
personality is mid.
If
If that,
that,
if
that's
that,
facts.
if
That's facts.
if that. So I don't know. I don't know what he is expecting to pull out of her, because that's what I was saying. Some people are what they are. So you can't say I want to see the artist in you if she's not an artist.
Facts. She's in the medicine. That's
Right.
what you're going to see in her.
Right.
You're gonna see her artistry, because that's her artistry,
Right.
medicine. So you're going to see that when your ass gets sick or your ass break a bone or something like that. That's when you're gonna see her art.
Right. But you can't make her an artist.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So We'll
Yeah,
see.
that was a weird statement to make.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. We'll save Madison and Al for last. Let's go to Juan and Karla. Juan and Karla. Juan and Karla. Juan and Karla was funny this episode.
Yeah,
And
this
I
shit is
I don't mean
hilarious.
funny in a good way.
Right.
I
This
mean
shit is hilarious.
I mean they was just funny. They got some funny shit going on. All right,
Yeah.
so let's start off. We're at the honeymoon. We come home. They have their own place that's set up by, the Married at First Sight people. And now we get to the point where you have to show the people your place. And Karla is homeless.
Yeah, facts. She's living out of a fucking storage unit, okay? Mhm.
So, how is this possible that Karla is homeless?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
I'm so confused. It just so happens that her lease
Right.
ended a few days before she was whisked away to get married, and she put all of her stuff in storage. There was just a couple indications to me that Carla, you just don't be having your own space and your own place to stay. Because she said, I was living with another partner. And when I moved all of my stuff in, I felt like it was no space for me. So this is what you do. It doesn't seem like you just be having your own space, Carla. It seemed like you be hopping from space to space.
That's a fact.
And I'm trying to figure out why the double standard here. Why is David being crucified to the cross
Wait a minute, Ish. We're
and
not going to
Carla?
pretend like that's not a double standard across real life.
I know,
Because
but that's
because
I know.
women will bash men and embarrass men every fucking day on the timeline about how they homeless, they only cuddling for somewhere to
And they be
stay.
the same fucking way.
Yes. So we're not
No
going to act like
good.
that's not a thing. We're not going to act like
No
that's not.
bueno. No
We're
bueno.
not
No
going to say
bueno.
anything. But Karla being homeless is just given. I don't know what the fuck is going on right here, right now, because because you joined the show, you got married. Now, what if this marriage doesn't work out? Where do you go live?
Right. She gonna be living
Like so
probably.
your whole plan was like, I'm gonna go on the show. Like even like my brain gonna start going. Is that why you went on the show?
That's what I'm saying because she like, okay, after the 90, she didn't even say after 90 days, if we decide to be together because, we find that we want to move forward with each other. She just said after the 90 days, are you gonna be cool with me moving my stuff in? Like, come on, Carla. What is this shenanigans?
So I feel like her intentions might have not been fully pure and just the ideal of the show.
Hmm.
It's just like I'm gonna go on the show and get married, and then I'll have somewhere to live.
I don't know, but it definitely is giving that vibe.
So what if he didn't have nowhere to live?
Exactly. She'd be ass out. She'd be living in that damn storage unit. She'd be trying to get a bigger one so she could put
That's
her
what I was
bed
about
in
to say.
there.
That storage unit looked crazy.
First of all, that storage unit did look like she had 10 items.
Right.
Some some sound bowls, a thing of dirt, a large little closet thing, and some bags. Like
That's a
that shit, what is happening? And Juan was so put off by like some of her questions with respect to like moving into his space, although he was open and receptive to it, but he looked like a little deer in headlights. Like, um, I guess. Like he looked so confused. Like, what the fuck is happening here?
he looked confused because he's like telling her the whole time, like, I can't afford to just take care of you. But you look like you need me to take care of you.
That's facts. That's facts. So, Carla, you looking like you just want to go buy juices,
Right.
go burn your sage and strum your bowls and have wine pumping his ass to make sure that, shit gets taken care of. I don't know. I don't know,
Yeah,
Karla.
all the couples are crazy this episode. Man. All the couples are crazy this episode.
How
So
you
I
feel about combining before you hop over to the next thought? How
so
you feel about combining your stuff? Like with like the
moving or in
moving,
my space?
yeah, the whole process. Vice versa. Like, whether you was combining bringing your stuff to her spot or her bringing her stuff into your space. Like, what do you feel about that whole process?
I'm trying to make sure I answer this. Like, um, I really can't see you moving your shit in my space because I could make room for it, but I don't know if
Yeah.
I want to.
That's exactly what Juan was talking about. He like, I got a hammock.
That hammock was crazy.
That hammock was crazy, by the way.
That hammock was crazy. I hope you all sleep in that hammock every day. That hammock was crazy.
He takes a nap, a
Okay.
siesta. I take a siesta in the hammock.
That hammock was crazy. But yeah, I don't think I would want somebody to move because it would be in my way. Like it would be in my way. Like it would just be in my way. So I would just rather us just get our own place. Let's just combine and get our own place. Or you can move in here, but don't bring all your shit. I'm sorry. Is that
Yeah.
fair to say?
No, it's not. Because I feel like, sometimes we just become accustomed to our own space, and just like our own things and the way things are. Like, I can't imagine having to like downsize my house and like to make it fit in somebody else's space. I've lived with many people, but they've always like, I've had my house for forever. So it's like they've always like pretty much come here. Um, and so I've never really had to rearrange my stuff. Like it's always okay, you can bring your stuff and we fit it in and make it your own. But I can't imagine like fitting my space into someone else's space. We would, just like you said, have to get a new space together to make our own.
But I'm asking, is it fair for me to say that you could come but don't bring all your shit?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Absolutely, because people are comfortable in their space. When you mix and mingle things, that's no longer your space. That becomes a shared space. And so if your shit is cluttering my shit, then we got a big shit.
That's a fact. Big shit. And speaking of that, let's talk about Wise TV. Let's talk about Wise TV stand. So Juan, who is this big time app creator who also does like some kind of financial shit on the side, and he's trying to create his own business. He's working. His TV stand, you can get a TV stand for like $35. A chill joint. A chill joint. You could, I can't get a nice joint for probably like $50. He had his TV on, what'd you call it?
It was a drywall carrier.
A
So
drywall carrier.
yes. So do you know, like in the Home Depot, the things that are on wheels, and it's like it has a bar here and then it has a larger bar that you can set the drywall or wood planks or something in to transport to the register. Yeah, it was one of them. It was painted. It
So
was painted and not on the wheels. It just was off the wheels and just sitting
oh,
there.
I thought it was still on the wheels.
Oh, it might have been. I thought that the wheels wasn't on there, but it could have been still on the wheels.
All right,
But
so
why? But why,
yeah,
sir? Where did this thought even come from?
definitely. Like, how do you even create that? How do you even
Yeah.
create? How do you just like, yo, let's set the TV on this?
Yeah. You know where that probably came from? That probably came from when he purchased the TV and they was rolling the TV on the thing. He probably said, you know what?
It's like
Here's
that.
my stand. I'm going to just take it with me.
just leave it like that. All right. So, but the apartment was nice. But the apartment was nice.
Yeah.
So if you walk in the door and you see the TV on that thing, though, what you saying?
I ain't tripping about that. I mean, it'd be like, okay, that's a little eyeball, but okay. You're another creative.
If
This
I
is your
walk in
art.
some girl crib and she got a TV sitting on there, I don't even like when I go into girls like or when I see girls and they just got their TV like sitting on the dresser, like leaning up against the wall, like that ain't
Right. No, because I
that
mean,
ain't even
it's
safe. That's not safe.
right, right. And there's so many options now, like you said, that are so affordable. You got the actual stands, you got the hanging on the wall, the brackets. Yeah, yeah. Secure your TVs,
That's
people.
a fact. I like TV too much. Like
Yeah,
I like TV too much for me not to say that if your TV looking crazy like that.
yeah, facts.
If your TV looking crazy like that, I'm gonna say something, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
facts,
ain't trying to judge you, but I am. I ain't
facts,
trying to judge you, but I am, man. I
facts,
listened and I
facts.
judged.
I can't.
All right, what else we got with Juan and Karla?
Okay. So what did you think about Juan taking notes?
About Juan on what?
Wow, wow. What did you think about Juan taking notes when they was meeting with the doctor?
I think that's a great. I think that's great. I think that's great. I think that people should take notes because a lot of people don't have good retention.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't have good retention. A lot of people misunderstand certain things or forget certain things. So I think
Hmm.
that's good that he was taking notes. I think more people should take notes. Normally, I would be a person who don't take notes or don't need to take notes, but I have so much shit going on that I gotta take notes. Like right now, I'm still be looking at my phone for some
Yeah,
notes because it's
yeah.
just so much shit going on.
No facts. I think initially I was like, look at fucking Juan. He's such a dork. Like
Right.
that was me initially. But then when I thought about it and then he further had an explanation because I don't know if was it Dr. Pepper?
Right.
Yeah, she was like, well, look at you with your notebook or whatever. And she referenced it, and he was like, yeah, we have, this is what we choose to do to express like anything that might just be a little standoffish between us or whatever the case may be. We write it down, conflict resolution, whatever the case may be. And so when he further started explaining it, I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like, you can see like how that could definitely be useful
That's
in
a fact.
certain situations. So yeah, I agree with you.
That's a fact. Shout out to you, Juan.
Hmm.
To you, Juan. Yeah,
Yeah, but
I'm not mad at it.
yeah, they was cool and fun and playful as usual.
If you're Juan, do you just let Karla move in?
I mean, I guess he's not gonna have no choice
You have
in
a
the
choice.
matter.
A choice
You
each.
always have a choice, but if he's making the choice to
To
move
stay
forward
with
with
her.
her past the 90 days, I think ideally, for a little bit, it would make more sense for her to move in and then you guys, collectively get another space together if that's what you choose to.
How do you feel about before we get to Madison now? How do you just feel in general when people just like spring shit on you? So it's like, say we have these ideas or thoughts, or it's like, say, just like with David, like say y'all got married and then on the wedding day, like when people spring shit on you on the days, it's like, yo, I'm retarded. Whatever it may be. How do you feel when people just spring shit on you out of the blue?
Cause why? Cause why? I don't like that shit. I just feel like there's always a space and opportunity, and not all the time are we afforded space and opportunity right away. But at some point in time, through some sort of progression that we have had, you were able to fucking tell me, not on the day of, not in the midst of, not around of, like, why? No, I don't like it. And I'm telling you that I don't like it.
Okay. Or like say if we're going through a process like this and we get to the end of the 90 days and they say, well, you know what? I'm not working anymore.
Well, it's 91 days. That's it. 91 days. Okay, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take, yes, I will move forward with you. I'm gonna take that shit back. No, but I get it, and I feel like, you take that chance.
Right.
You know what I mean? You take that chance that, yeah, a person could be a certain way, or a person could say a certain thing up to this 90 days, and then when the cameras is off and the shit and the lights go down and some real shit really come into play, that is, a completely different person. Nah, I'm not working. Nah, I'm not this. You my husband now. You my wife now. So you gotta deal with it. Put up with this shit.
Facts.
Nah,
And
no.
that should be happening, people. So beware.
And so, and so.
Should be happening, people. All right. Last but not least, we gotta get to Baddie Madison and Island Boy. I just made that shit up on the spot.
Island Boy.
Island Boy.
Let me tell you before we dive into them, let me tell you that my thoughts have shifted from Alan being the weirdo
To
to
Madison.
Madison just not being fucking cool.
That's a fact.
Like that's on some real shit to me. Broccoli draws and all.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. So it starts off. They're at the apartment together back in Chi-Town, and Madison never came home after the initial day when it says that first night at the apartment. You're supposed to be getting to know each other, spending some time together. She goes out with her friends. She texts him, let him know probably like 1 or 2 in the morning, saying, I'm gonna just stay out.
Mhm.
Is we good with this? Because if this was the nigga, it would be all hell to pay. It would be all hell to pay if this was the nigga.
This is not cool. This is not cool whatsoever. And then the fact that she said, "Yeah, I do this often."
Yes, I do this.
It's not unusual that this doesn't happen. And it's just like, man, what? What
And
you
that's
have
why,
said?
and this is a lot of things that people don't bring into consideration. First of all, I'm looking at Alan's dumbass dog right now, but this is a thing that people don't bring into.
Yeah, that dog is right up my eye.
This is a thing that people don't always bring into consideration. It's like she said something on one of the first episodes of people not trusting her.
Mm.
Do you wonder why?
Yep, it's all clear. All clear. It's evident. It's evident. Because who does that? Who does that? Who does that? Who does that? First night?
Right.
And I was surprised just on the downplay of it. Like, but I just think, Alan is just so enamored with her, as we've stated all along, that it's just like, okay, since it wasn't a guy, I guess it's okay.
That's
I
a fact.
guess it's all right.
It's not okay, Madison. It's not
Mm-mm.
okay. And if you wonder why people in your past have judged you or not trusted you, it's because you randomly just go and spend the night out wherever, however you want to do it. That's not sufficient all the time. Will you be coming into a relationship or a partnership? Like you can't.
Yeah,
It
thanks,
don't work that way.
Madison. Chicks eat, chicks box. Chicks eat
That's a
box.
fact.
Like, just because you ain't with a man, that don't mean you ain't.
And we don't always know if you're not with a man, even when you say you're not with a man.
Facts.
Bring your ass home. You drunk.
Bring your ass home. I come to pick you up. We've had these conversations. Like, we've talked about this before. So I just found that it was weird.
I found that it was crazy because she
Yeah.
walked in the crib the next morning, like, hey.
He's like, welcome home.
Right.
What? I'd have been like, excuse me, and nice to see you here. Like, oh, I would have definitely started.
That wouldn't even have went down like that. That wouldn't even went down like that. I would have stopped her from the gate and be like, this is our first day back. I think that we should spend it together. Nothing has to happen, but I just think that we should spend this together. We're supposed to be getting to know each other. You always go out with your friends, and I know you just got back. You just got back with me, so we're trying to figure this out. I don't think this is the opportune time that you should be going out and spending the night out with your friends. I just don't think that this was the time and place for that. And if you want to go, you're grown, so I can't stop you from going. But I ain't going the next morning and be like, hey, it ain't gonna go that
Hey,
smoothly.
welcome home.
It ain't gonna go that. We don't even gotta argue
Right,
about this shit. But it ain't gonna be
right,
no hey.
right, right. So she goes on to explain like to Alan as she's coming in that her friend Kate was having an issue. Her and her sister-in-law, they wound up having dinner and drinking and
I don't
passing
care.
out, etc. And
Carry.
then she also further made a statement that from the honeymoon, she was overwhelmed, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of different emotions that she was feeling. And this was her way of feeling and getting back into a good space. It was like a good relief, a good release, etc. And this is why she did it. If you were Alan and you heard those things, how would you feel?
I don't care about nothing you just
Bring
said.
your ass home.
Your ass home. Bring your ass home. And I'm a proponent of yeah, you should be a lot of your space and you're grown. You could do whatever you want to do. But I'm also a proponent of time and place and just why though. Like
Hmm.
just why. Like if we're not vibing, if there's been some ups and downs, like you know how people say you need a break or the heart grows fonder when you separate or whatever that shit is. I don't
Yeah.
believe
Okay.
you give me some space. I spaced out.
I agree with you there. I definitely agree with you there. And I do agree that people need time to this themselves. They need space, etc., but not all night space.
Not only not all night space. I just don't think that there was enough time in between for you to need time.
That's facts. That's facts. Because you could have FaceTime with your girlfriend if she was having trouble. I would have let you, have a conversation to talk, whatever, and then you could have came and whatever the case may be. But if she didn't need you physically there all night having drinks to help her through whatever situation she needed to vent about. No.
This is what I mean about building foundations and building structure and all that.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
haven't been together for months or years or nothing like
Mhm.
that. That's different. Go ahead, knock yourself
Right.
out. So
Right.
go stay a couple days, bitch. But
Right.
we 10 days in. I don't think this is the time for that.
Right. Not 10 days in, no. I definitely agree. It's not the time for it. It ain't. We ain't even get to that space.
That's
Nope.
a fact. She wow. She
Nope.
said that was her thing, and that's what she did. And he was like, "Oh, okay." What
Yeah, facts. I
if
think
the,
he's
what
a
if
little.
the guy said that to you?
Yeah. What?
This is my thing. This is what I do. I'm gonna go spend the night with the boys. You turn around like what?
Funny shit. Funny shit. Because they would like anybody would already know if I say some shit like that to each, I might as well stay the fuck out for forever. Or forever, because that's gonna be my thing. Okay, well, wherever it is that you are going to stay with your friend for tonight, you can make that permanent. Like it's cool. I don't listen, I'm not giving nobody no static, no friction, no nothing. I just make shit understandable to you where you understand that this type of shit doesn't happen. And if you want it to continue to happen or whatever the case may be, cool. There is no this though. Like I'm just like that. So no, you can't say that type of shit to me.
Yeah, I'm not going for it. Sorry, Madison. And I like Madison on the outside, but the inside, it's not that
Right.
cute. her
Yeah.
inside's not that cute.
Yeah, not at all. Not at
Inside's
all.
not that cute, man. All right, so Alan proceeds on saying, well, you get to see the hoopty, so we can go, check out my crib or whatever. And Madison said, well, what's a hoopty? What's a hoopty? See, and these are some of those. Well, they both white, so you can't say it's a cultural difference. But I would say that when we spoke about cultural differences earlier, like if we talking about slang, like, and I talk to other people, and they be like, "Well, I don't understand that," because I'm like, "Okay, I kind of vocabulary. I don't have to use certain words when I talk to you." But the other people be like, well, explain this. What is that? Why do they do this? I hate that shit. That's the shit that I hate. That's the shit that I hate.
Right. That would drive me fucking nuts too.
Yes.
That would
Fucking
drive me nuts.
24/7 with that shit. I'm not gonna be fucking explaining every little black fucking detail to you. This is not, I'm not the black encyclopedia.
Right. That's whole facts. And she was like, "What's a 50?" And I'm just like, Madison, now you're the oddball. Like, chill. Like, what is happening?
So for the people who are not familiar, man, we come up with certain slangs like hoopty, squatter, my little bang bang, whatever,
Right.
whatever you want to call
Right.
it,
Right.
Johnny's, whatever you want to call it, man. Which describes like an older car or maybe a ran down car or whatever however you want to put it. Johnny's is a stolen car, but there's different little slangs for it.
Mm-hmm.
Different things like somebody asked me before what was a squatter, and I was like, you're definitely not from the hood.
Yeah, facts. Because everybody know what a squatter is. Well, I would think that. Obviously, not everybody knows.
Obviously not. So a
Right.
squatter, if y'all don't know, is like a more or less expensive car. So it's like some you can get for cheap. You might pay like $500-600. You could even spend like a stack, whatever it may be. But it's like on the lower end, you just getting something that's gonna last you maybe like a month or two.
Point A to point B.
That can get you from point A to point B. Man, get you a little squatter. I would say go get you a little squatter. That normally people's first car, where they like work at McDonald's or whatever it may be. You get you a little squatter
Right.
to get you forth to work or wherever you're trying to go.
Right.
Somebody had a first kid, they go get them a little squatter.
Squatter.
But what was your thoughts on Madison's hoopty analysis?
She's like, oh my God, these Alanisms. I have to write that down in my little book. Shut up. She was so annoying.
She was like, who are you right now? Who are you right now, Madison?
No, who are you? And what made it even funnier is that he went out to a Jaguar. And it could have been a young, I mean, how do you say it? Older model. Yeah, an older model Jaguar. Whatever the case may be, it was still a Jag. It was still in nice condition. It was still pretty nice car. So that just lets you know Alan is like, okay, Alan is kind of with it in his shit. And even when you see his place, it kind of shows you that Alan is not as corny as she was like making him out to be, in a sense, just because of his little undies. And it is kind of corny still, but
it's quirky, not corny.
It's quirky, not corny. Yeah. And I think he solidified that he's quirky, yeah, but he ain't corny.
Right. So shout out to Alan. So all right, we get to this dog, man. What's up? What happened with the dog?
Yo, the dog was in heat. The dog was in heat. It's humping the pillow, humping the bed. Like the dog was all over the place, busy body. They couldn't even have a good meal, good conversation without the dog doing some extra shit. So I don't know how that's gonna work because that dog would be thrown over the balcony.
That's what I was about to ask you, man. One thing I did always hate growing up in the hood was cats in heat.
Spraying all over the place.
That shit used to be annoying.
Yeah, butt all up in the air. Shit, no. I think, it's all natural behavior, obviously, to all things living. We see it, we experience it ourselves as humans, but the dog and the cat shit, just they go 0 to 100 because they not able to get stuck like we are, or they not able to stick in like y'all are. You know what I mean? It's not accessible to them if they're domesticated pets, like they ain't getting no ass, so they doing all kind of crazy shit. Nobody got time for that.
It's like that shit would be annoying, and I would be
Yeah.
like, "Put your fucking dog in a cage, dog. Put your fucking dog in a cage. Take that motherfucker
Yeah.
outside. Let him get something. Find him a partner or something. I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
what you do, but do something."
So listen, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. When I used to go to Bartram, my advisor, he was my algebra teacher, Mr. Eddie. I don't know if he's still living or what have you, but Mr. Eddie had me watch his chihuahua while he went away. Why he exited, it might be kind of creepy when we think about it now, but why did he have me babysit his fucking dog? But mom allowed me to babysit the dog or whatever. It was a chihuahua, a good ass dog, but the fucking chihuahua was always in heat. Now, I was in ninth grade. So, yes, obviously I knew about the birds and the bees and sex and all of that, but actually seeing, we never had pets. So actually seeing his skin fucking come back and expose this little fucking pink thing fucking traumatized me because he was in heat and he will hurt my leg the entire fucking time until this is cruelty to animals.
Right.
It's the fucking dog. I would fling the dog. Like, I can't deal with it. I can't. The dog is going over the fucking deck.
Yeah, I can't deal with the people. Like I said before, man, mind your pets and get that under control. Nobody want to deal with that shit all the time. Nobody want to hear the barking. I don't like all of that shit. I'm like, I am not with it. Like, I am not with it. I don't want your dog climbing on me. I don't want none of that shit. It's too much. I don't want to smell like your dog. I don't want your dog shedding on me. Like, none of it. I don't want none of it. I
None
don't
of
want
it.
none of it. Get your
I
fucking dog.
can't.
Get your fucking dog. Put that
Yeah.
dog in the cage, man. Put that.
Yeah.
Put that dog. Like when I was younger and somebody had a pet and you went over their crib, they used to like let me put the dog up first. Now
Mm,
people just be like, "Come on in with my pet." No, I don't want to.
yeah. I can't. I can't. And y'all sitting there, we're trying to have a nice meal that Alan done whipped up, and y'all fucking watching the dog tear up shit and hump shit. Like, no, go lock him in the bedroom. Like, I don't know, get him away.
That's a fact. So that's what.
Craziness.
All right. Any last questions or thoughts on Alan and Madison?
No, I just think she was just a little extra hype, that he could cook, that, there were some qualities in him outside of what she initially saw that she really could, take him, like really appreciate him for who he is, etc. So I thought that
You're
was good.
seeing and you're seeing a difference between Alan and Thomas.
Very much so. Very much so. Alan is rounding the corner. He's rounding the block. You know what I mean? He's stepping into kind of sort of what you can see a woman growing to like. Like, yeah, he's stepping into the plate. Like even when she mentioned him going to the gym, he stated he was in the gym, 4 times in a few days or whatever the case may be. And it was for not just to change for her doing something that he liked, but for something that he feels better in doing. Thomas just hasn't done that yet. He hasn't rounded that corner, so we shall see.
That's a
Shout
fact.
out to Alan. That's my
Okay.
new boo.
Alan, your new boo.
Yeah, he not my fave. Nobody my fave, but Alan my new boo.
Do I have a fave now, man? Karla can't be my fave if she homeless.
I know that's why I'm saying it's up with these people.
Can't be my fave if she homeless, man. I don't know. I might not have a fave either, man. I just might not have a fave either, man. If I gotta pick anybody, it might be Camille. I might like that.
Right.
Like that Camille, what the swaggy nigga? Because I'm the swaggy nigga.
Yeah, right. Right. And it would be easy for her to um, gravitate to
And
the
she's a baller. She
swagginess.
used to play ball. Camille might be my shorty.
Right. Might be your shorty. Okay, Camille.
Might be my
Okay.
shorty. Man. All right, people. I am glad that the experts came and helped out. It's very much needed. I am excited to see the next episode as well. I want David to get that um, closet together
Hmm.
and figure out his life because I understand I work two jobs. I'm never really home shit. So why would I be spending money on that? That's cool. Don't bring nobody there though.
Right. Right.
Like
Yeah.
unless they say they cool with that. Because some people don't give a fuck. Some people
Some
don't give.
people don't give a fuck, but some people like it seemed like honestly he's got a fucking keg in his place.
Yeah.
Like he's honestly probably he likes. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say
You can say that. He said it already.
he likes white girls with blue eyes. They get pissy, wasted,
Right.
drunk,
They don't give
and
a fuck.
they don't even know or
Right.
see where the fuck they laying and getting fucked at. So that's why it works for him. This is why. You know
It's
what
a
I mean?
fact.
And maybe that's what he was looking for, and then he just got one that was just a little, situated a little different.
Yeah, yeah. Because most of the time, blonde hair, blue eyed girls are just spaced out like that. That's what they are. But
Yeah,
she's
facts.
she's a little bougie with hers.
Facts.
She's a little bougie with hers, and yes. So my synopsis on all of these people, I'll run down this real quick. Michelle needs somebody, or she doesn't even know that she wants somebody to take care of her. David, he needs to grow up first. Feels like he needs to grow up first. He's not he just does a lot of childish shit. Like I'm gonna just sleep here on the couch. Like what,
Yeah,
nigga?
facts. I'm gonna eat 6 tacos at
You know what I
3
mean?
a.m.
Like he still lives like he's in college, basically.
Mhm. Mhm.
You ain't in college no more, dog. You ain't in college no more, dog. Eminem, it's still yet to see where and who or what she is yet. I can't
Mhm.
really put my finger on a pulse with her yet. It
Right.
just feels like she is a person who wants somebody. She just wants somebody.
Mhm. Mhm.
It don't matter who it is, just somebody.
Mhm.
Just somebody, man.
That's somebody.
Ike Raw, I never fucked with you, Ike Raw. I never fucked with Ike
You
Raw.
didn't. You said that shit from the beginning.
Never fucked with Ike Raw. I told y'all he was the little brother. He's the little brother.
Mhm.
He's the little brother. I never fucked with you, Ike Raw. So they didn't pick you in Houston. It was for a reason. Madison, um, Madison may only be the body, but she's open.
Mhm.
Like she's open. Madison may only be the body, but she's open. She just gotta get off of her shit of telling Alan what he has to be for her. Don't tell
Right.
me what he gotta be for you.
Mhm.
I'm me, and if they don't match you, then they don't match you. Don't tell me what I have to be for you. I don't think those kind of things are genuine.
Right.
Um, Alan, Alan's not a cornball. He's just quirky. Um, but he has good intentions. He has good
Mhm.
intentions. So Alan's all right. Camille, she don't got no butt, but like I said, she may be my favorite right now just because she's a baller. She know what she want. She ain't here to play no games. Thomas, he gotta show what else he is outside. Thomas is fucking 42 years old. Another thing that people don't pull into the equation. Thomas is 10 years older than her. People act like age isn't a thing, but it extremely is because it goes to mindsets of people.
Mm-hmm.
So being 42 and her being 32, um, it's not the a deal breaker, but it has to be acknowledged of what space you're in.
Right.
Juan and Karla. Karla's homeless.
Oh, that's wild.
Karla's homeless, but they do have fun together. Right now, Juan and Karla is looking like the only couple that might make it out. Juan and Karla.
Karla.
Juan and Karla. Um, so we'll see with that. But Juan is cool. Juan ain't really showed nothing crazy yet. Juan ain't really showed nothing crazy yet. And Karla hasn't really showed nothing crazy yet besides being homeless. Even her little temper tantrum with the you gonna learn today shit was warranted because nigga don't forget about me. Right. So that's my take on everybody for right now, man. What you got, Ish?
That's facts. Okay, I'm gonna get one worder since I wasn't prepared, such as you.
Well, I just did this off the top.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, I'm still gonna do one worders just to make it fun. Madison, dumb. Alan, cool. Karla, Juan, fun. Nice spirit, good spirit. M, suspect. Ike, loser. David, loser. He's double loser. It's like, no, David, that's not nice.
Damn, David.
Sidebun, I don't really know what to think of Sidebun right now. I have mixed emotions about him. Michelle, dummy. Camille, superficial. Thomas, Joe.
What'd you say about Thomas?
Joe. I say he Joe because it's like, just be more mean to me. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know. Yeah, I say right now Joe is my word.
I was like, is she calling him average or is she calling him just Joe?
No, I'm called both.
Right.
Average Joe and Joe. Actually, Joe is so befitting because it
Right.
could go either way because
Right.
he's just average. The wire hangers prove to me that he's just average. It's like no, but you know what they say about wire hangers. But and he ain't no how you I don't know. I don't know. Thomas, old Thomas. But yeah, that's my wrap up for them after this week. I'm so glad the doctors are there though, because now we getting really to the nuts and bolts of shit, for
That's
real.
a fact, people. So this is Married at First Sight, season 18. This is our episode 7 recap. Make sure y'all tune in next week for episode 8 as we really get into the activities with the experts that normally either brings the couple together or breaks the couples back. So the activities on next episode will either make or break some couples, man. What do they normally do? 10 or 12 episodes?
Yeah, I think it's like normally
15.
10. Sometimes it's more than that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think it's like 12 or 13, and then it's normally like the reunion. I'm interested to see like, is this the first season that they're doing like the extended after party thing?
No, but we just don't normally watch it.
Right. Okay. I really don't watch it. I mean, Keisha,
Or maybe it may be a little more extended than normal because normally the after party would just be something quick probably like a half an
Right.
hour or whatever, but now it's like the same length of the show.
Almost as the show. Yeah, absolutely. So I just was interested to see, I guess, what the reunion, maybe they'll not touch on certain things because they've already covered it in like the after party
No, I
type
think they will still
situation.
touch on it.
Yeah, they
Right?
still touch on
The
that.
only
Yeah.
thing that is different in the after party is they show scenes that weren't seen. So sometimes I
Yeah.
do watch some of the after party just because they
Mm-hmm.
show shit that wasn't seen. Like when
Right.
who was it? Alan snorted something when they was doing saw the spiritual Joan.
Oh
he,
yeah.
he was like, she told me to put it on my nose, and I snorted it. You stupid asshole.
Yeah, too much. I can't. I can't. Yeah, but I do like the after party. I think it's cool too. Like, just if you want to watch, get a different insight, get different opinions and stuff, and kind of see
So
what they were thinking about.
one of those after parties, they had a relationship specialist who wasn't in a relationship. How do you feel about that?
She said she was single and shit.
All right.
Um, not all the time do I think you have to be in a relationship in order to offer uh, uh a subjective way of looking at things. Like, I don't think you have to be. People are sometimes looking for people to be in relationships because they think that if you're currently in a relationship, you can guide me better. But half the time, the motherfuckers that's in relationships, they should be all really fucked up. Not everybody. I'm not talking about the married people and who has good relationships, but sometimes not everybody in a relationships um are there is their shit together. So her being single, it didn't set me off too much. Like, how you talking and speaking and you single? It's okay.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. A lot of times people also don't understand that you might even be fucked up. You might even have a fucked up situation, but you can see other shit. Like I would be able to see what your issue is without seeing mine all the time, if that makes sense.
Right, right. And you don't necessarily, and my thing is, you don't necessarily have to be equally aligned with the person that you're offering, advice to or offering a or perspective to. It doesn't have, I don't have to be in the same situation as you. I could just have experienced something different. I could see it from a different standpoint and offer you just a little different insight that you might need to help you get on the right track. But she seemed like she was just there for the juice.
Probably.
She seemed
Probably.
like she was, I mean, she was offering good insights, but she was like, I can't wait to talk to Michelle. Like, she seemed like she wanted a little bit of the action.
Okay.
So,
We'll see. But anyway, people, this is our recap season 18, episode 7. Until the next time, people, have a good one. Deuces.